welcome to Warden Wednesday, the day of the week where we play with our lovely wardens, our subscribers. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday, the 15th of March. I am Katie, this is Jack, and together we are...
Katie and Jack!
Katie and Jack! Today Jack is playing... What are you playing, Jack?
7 Days to Die. It's
7 Days to Die! What's that?
It's Warden Wednesday. We always play 7 days. We're on night 35.
That is untrue. Most Warden Wednesdays you play.
Most Warden Wednesdays. Since we've been playing this game, since we really started this game, we started playing on Wednesdays and pretty much exclusively on Wednesdays. It's a fun game.
So our wardens are our subscribers, which we lovingly call wardens because they are the protectors of the Pattillion. We merged our names. The Pattillion being from said Pattillo, and wardens because it's a real word. And it just happens to coincide with Ward, which is my last name. How was your day, Jack?
It's good.
I told Jack I wanted to introduce
I didn't know what you were doing, so I was like, just letting you roll with it. No, it wasn't. It was good,
and
though.
you did. It's funny because I was rehearsing in the mirror. I know it seems silly, but I always rehearse things. And I was rehearsing in the mirror, and I was like, and together we are. And in my head, I went, Jack and Katie. And you said exactly that.
Oh, we're adorable. Losky, thank you very much, Losky, for that.
So it was very cute.
That is very kind. We got CBY Zerino Lynn. CBY here got my Let's Play Live New Jersey tickets and VIP pass. So looking forward to meeting you.
Thank
God bless.
You.
We are I'm very excited, CBY, to meet you. That'll be very rad. I'm very excited.
Thank you for joining the Pattillion.
It's going to be awesome. Let's Play Live is going to be great.
I'm not going to New Jersey, am I? I'm just going to Orlando.
You're just going to Orlando.
Excellent.
You don't have to ride the bus or anything. You're just going to fly to Orlando, see a show, and then you're
going to
go to
Two Brothers. I'm good.
You're going to go to Legoland.
Yes.
While I'm playing Tampa.
Right, because and Kat asked me, Jeremy's wife, she said, are you going to Tampa? Because I was thinking of driving up there, but I don't want to drive alone. And I was like, sorry, I'm going to Legoland.
Hey, CD Arcane. It was great seeing you at PAX Jack. Can't wait to take on the Horde tonight. It's going to be a good one.
Gonna be a pie, gonna bake a pie, gonna bake a pie with a heart. And is it you that hates that movie, or is it Jeff?
What movie?
They're gonna bake a pie, gonna bake a pie, gonna bake a pie with a heart in the middle. Someone is gonna get
what
that.
What movie is that? That's a song.
Right, but it's the movie is around that. It's the oh, jeez.
What's the name of the movie?
She works in a diner and she makes pies. And I don't want to spoil it, but the ending is pretty much the movie. I had a stroke. I had a stroke. Is it
the Demon Barber of Fleet Street? Is it a
what? No, it's a film. It's got Nathan Fillion in it. He plays the Doctor. It's like one of the only non-sci-fi movies Nathan Fillion is in.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm pretty sure it's Nathan Fillion. Someone on.
So I don't know. Anyway, so we're playing 7 Days to Die tonight. So we're gonna try something new. I've got the headphones on, which means Katie can't hear
Waitress? Is it just called Waitress?
Oh yeah, Waitress. That's a movie.
Is it a movie? Someone that you know, either you or someone that you know, hates that movie.
It's not me.
It must be Jeff.
Sweeney Todd. That's what I was thinking. Irony the Goddess.
No, American Pie.
No. I think it should turn into a Broadway show. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're gonna play 7 Days to Die. So if you are a warden over in Warden Chat, I will post the password that you can then use to join our server tonight.
The password is password. It's funny because in an escape it's not. An escape room we did just recently, the password was password. I don't think you were there for that. It was David and I doing it.
Which one was that?
You know the one where I gave you the wrong info. It was the keyboard thing, and it had hex and death and something else. I read it off the wrong one. So the answer I was giving you was off the wrong one. So David came in and said, no, those are actually this one. And he looked at them, cross-referenced them, and went, the password is literally password. And I was like, oh.
That's awesome. So I'll have headphones on tonight, so I'll be listening to the game, and then I'll have...
And not to me.
I'll have one ear off, so I can hear you too. But hey, Killer! 0098, thank you very much. Hey, Jack's 2 months and going strong.
Nice.
Having such a great night. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
So I thought that...
Katie has the keyboard. She'll have the keyboards and talk in chat. That's for you.
Why did you do... Now they know if I don't write back that it's me ignoring them.
So Katie will be ignoring you in chat tonight. And I've got my keyboard for the game.
I was screaming at you through from downstairs.
Why were you screaming at me from downstairs?
Because I was like, you can start if you need to.
Oh, and I was busy fixing her computer.
But when we shut these doors,
Yeah.
it is soundproof.
Nice.
Like when we have children, they could be doing whatever they want in these rooms, and we are not going to know about
Hang on a
it.
second. It's all right.
Why don't you just tell me and I could type it? Oh,
What?
I told you the password is password. It's actually not.
All right, there you go.
Jack was just typing the password is.
Okay. So we're playing 7 Days to Die. What's up, everybody?
Everybody.
It is 10 in the morning, so tonight is going to be a Horde night, which means we're going to have a lot
Yay.
of zombies coming in tonight. So we got to get everything prepped and ready to go.
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
The very first time in September.
All right, we can
Do
destroy
you remember
this
King
thing.
Cobra?
King Cobra, yeah.
AKA Red Car Hype.
Hey.
I put you on the spot there. I apologize for that. Rule 1 of improv.
What,
Yes,
put
and
Jack on the spot.
And then the second rule is don't put people on this. Actually, I mean, improv is half putting people on the spot. So, did I tell you about our Beige? Beige? I already told you about that.
What's a Beige? Is that
that-
like a toilet you that like what spits water up your butt?
I was worried about that. No, when I was doing Emily Hagen's, I was being an extra for her in her
I'm
web
thirsty.
series. She put me and another guy, Roshan was his name, together, and because being an extra is actually really hard. It isn't for the faint-hearted, because you have to be able to take direction really well. You have to be able to suffer really long hours, and you never know when you're going to get a drink break because they forget about you. Like it's like the best director I've ever had being an extra. Besides, I mean, Emily, because it was a short kind of in a big production. The best director was actually John Ridley. Is that his name? The guy that did 10 Years a Slave.
Yeah.
So he did a pilot here in Austin, but he remembered my name. He was so lovely.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, "What was your name?" And I'm like, "Katie." And he's like, "Okay." And then like 2 hours later, he's like, "Katie, can I get you to just stand here?" And I was like, "Oh, you remember my name?" Like obviously
That's so
now
sweet.
he won't remember it, but he made an effort to like really,
Yeah, he went out of his way.
Yeah. That was one of the first times I ever saw an actor pass out. The guy had been standing for too long and didn't have dinner, and he just fell down. And his co-star thought he was just joking and was like, "Get off me!" And she just let him fall to the ground. And she was like, "Oh shit, I'm so sorry." Anyway, so that was a sidetrack. She's like, "Are you okay?" And it was because they make you. This is totally a tangent, but it's because in a lot of films, unless you're a smoker, they make you smoke these herb cigarettes, and not like a good herb. Like it's like you're smoking oregano, like oregano.
I hear a zombie somewhere. It's driving me nuts. So last time we were here, we built this new bridge, this new door.
I'm sorry, I got really sidetracked and I got thirsty. Because of all my sidetrack talking. What was I getting at? Okay,
There's a zombie.
So John Ridley was
I
really
hear
lovely.
zombies somewhere.
Probably on the spikes. And
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Told you it was on the spikes. You just didn't listen. Also, that is very loud and I can hear it.
Sorry, yeah, it's really loud in my ears.
Is there a button I can press to help you?
I can turn it on here.
Sorry. I was telling you about Beiges. So, okay. Being an extra is hard. One of the complicated things about being an extra is that you spend hours being awkward. But you have to make it look like you aren't awkward at all. Like, imagine watching, like, when you watch things like Always Sunny in Philadelphia, right? Or basically any movie where there's a bar scene or, like, some kind of party or something. Just recently we watched Fist Fight, and my favorite, most, like, outstanding moment of the film is in the background, these people are clapping like this, like, never making contact, because sometimes especially when they're recording audio, you have to pretend like you can't actually be making noise, but you're like, "I'm hyped," and you have to be like mouthing, like you're just like pretending to be really excited.
Alpha 2 wins. Thank you very much, Alpha 2 wins.
Thank you.
By the power of the beer, we are bonded.
There it is. But you have to pretend to be hyped, but you actually can't make any noise because on that take, they're actually recording the actor's audio. And so you have to be clapping, but not actually, but most people clap and kind of like, get a little bit closer. These people were just blatantly like, it was amazing. Anyway, so what Roshan and I were doing is I decided, because I'm a hyper human being, I decided to make it into a game, which instead of like mouthing to each other, and because he's like, I'm just gonna be straight with you, I cannot lip read to save my life. And I was like, cool, I can. Let's make this a thing. So we decided, and by we I mean I, decided that we would play a game, which is we're going to try to interpret what each other is saying and make a narrative about it while we're talking in the background. And we became featured extras, which means like we actually get seen a little bit. So it was especially important that we were very quiet, so we couldn't laugh at each other, like properly actually laugh. So we were having these conversations, and the first thing that I got was that he was born in China. And then the dialogue became how his mother came across from China with him as a baby, and how he then went on to become, he like rated Michelangelo, and I was like, how many Michelangelos? It's like 5 Michelangelos. It was just this ridiculous, like, we just couldn't understand what each other was saying. So every time they said cut, we're like, what did you think I said? He's like, I thought you said you were related to Jesus. It was just really amazing. It was so funny. But there came a point where we were talking about how we were going to make a book about it. Because this is when you're delirious at like 4 a.m, which is what time it was. Or, 2 to 4 around that time. When you're delirious, my friend Haley was there as well.
State fan. Thank you, State fan.
Thank you, State fan. Hello. Welcome to the rant and tales of Caiti being an extra.
Extra Caiti.
So much Caiti.
Story time with extra Caiti.
So we're talking about how we should make a book about it. And then somehow we got into coloring books. Like we could make it like it was like a coffee table book. And then it went to, like adult coloring books. And I was like, man, I hate adult coloring books because I don't like to pick my own colors. I was like, I prefer it when it says, make it look like this. And then I'm just like, cool. And just absentmindedly kind of just coloring it in the colors that it says, like kind of color by numbers, but it just gives you the general like gist of how it should look. I was like, because if it's up to me, it's just going to be 5 shades of beige.
Oh.
What happened?
Spitter northeast.
Spitter?
And a bear's out there too.
What? I like bears.
Oh, he's in the water.
Ew. What's a spitter?
He spits.
No kidding. That bit's broken there. I don't know if that matters. Or are you trying to make it broken? Oh, look out!
Oh, yeah.
Look
See,
out!
you can break stuff.
But I was like, if it's up to me, I would just color it 5 shades of beige. And so then that became the title of the book, 5 Shades of Beige. And then it became, usually when you say something's beige, it's kind of like bland.
State fan. Hashtag Lennon sucks.
Lennon, is he in here? Oh, Laserbeam Twitch. What's he doing in here? Get out of here. I don't know why I'm being mean to you. Whoa, that is a...
Yeah, so the cops, they explode.
Oh, I don't want to see that. I'm gonna keep going with my terrible story. 5 Shades of Beige. That was gonna be the name of our book. But then it turned into... it turned into a way of life where we had to ask ourselves, is this what a beige person would do? And then I made the joke about how in the morning you have to look into the mirror and ask yourself, am I beige enough today? Which was funny because he was African American. So it just became this thing. It was just hilarious. You had to be there, I guess.
What was King Cobra's Twitch resub comment? I missed it.
Sorry, I'm doing a bad
Was it red
job.
car for the win?
I'm sorry, King Cobra. I was telling a story and I missed it, and it's my fault.
Sorry, I actually missed it too. Sorry, it's kind of loud.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I'm prepping.
You promised me. You promised me.
Also, thank you, State fan, for being a hero.
What did you do?
He donated.
Thank you, State Fan. When?
State-
Just now?
Earlier.
But
Not too long ago.
See, Tess wants to know what all this is about being beige. I should start again. So, yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Basically, it's a silly thing that happened when I was delirious as an extra.
Hey, Science Guy 23. Hey, Science Guy.
It was awesome to meet you both at my first Archex and sitting in the studio. The work you do for Extra Life is seriously heartwarming. Keep being amazing human beings. Thank you.
You
Can
okay?
you talk while you drink water?
You might drown.
You're right. Caiti is a part of a book called called 5 Shades of Beige or something. It's a collaborative effort. But basically, it was just me talking about when you're an extra, it's really hard. Like, being an extra is actually, I know being an actor is hard. Being an extra is like a different kind of hard, where it's, you have to be quiet. You can't ask for too much. Like, nobody knows your name. No one cares about you. Like, well, that's not true. That's not always the case, but you know, it's like an actor can go, I'm thirsty, I'm going to get a drink. An extra can't really do that, especially because there are so many of, like, usually there's a lot of people, and if one person leaves, then it's kind of like, well, why don't I go get a drink? And it's like, okay, and it just becomes an issue. Anyway, which I know because I'm that person where I'm like, I need a beverage to lubricate my mouth because of all the words I'm not saying.
Beverage to lubricate my mouth.
But yeah, but it was fun to come up with the game because there are some people that it is especially difficult being quiet with and not talking. Whereas with Roshan, it was really fun just because we would just totally, he would say something and I'd be like, really, Michelangelo? How many Michelangelos? 5 Michelangelos? That's insane. And then I was just in the background going, what's the name of the artist that, like, you know, cut his ear off and he made the swirls? And
Picasso?
No, it was Van Gogh. Van Gogh. And so it's like because you're in the background, you can't just sort of like, nod. You have to be a little bit expressive, especially because we were at a prom. And so it was kind of like, we had to be a little bit more like, you know, like, nah, nah, nah. And I was just like, look at my nails. He's like, I hate them. And I was like, I hate you. And then it just kind of, yeah, so it was pretty ridiculous. But it was fun. I did get home very late and it kind of messed up my sleep schedule for about like 3 days. But
you had fun, right?
I did have fun. Yeah, it was really fun.
Look, it's the state. Zombie free never. That was my house up there. I gotta keep working on that.
You have a house on the hill. House on the prairie. I didn't see his
this thing wasn't working.
Thing. Science guy, I want to become a warden, but I need to get better at 7 days to die. Are there any good guide videos out there to help noobs like me?
You can just jump in, man. You got a lot of help if you join us. Dirt Track Chick. Welcome, brand new warden, Dirt Track Chick. By the power of the beer, we are bonded. Thank you. I'm hungry. I got a bunch of raw meat here.
Jack, Betty Coon says, Jack, which 2-channel mixer did you get?
I've got an Alesys Multimix 4 USB. That's the one I use.
Oh, King Cobra says I would pick you over that balloon.
Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
DMB Dan, 8 months in a row.
DMB Dan, 8 months in a row.
Little taste of the good life, where the right or wrong makes us want to stay for a while.
Stay for a while. It's a song. It's Dave Matthews Band song.
Oh, yeah.
He's DMB Dan. He's Dave Matthews Band Dan. He's my hero.
That makes sense. Ooh, I thought you called State Fan your hero.
Well, State Fan's also my hero.
This is awkward. Very, very awkward. Awkwards. Its testament says there are bloody footprints on the drawbridge. Not judging, just noticing.
Are there really?
I love that.
That's creepy.
Can you wash things?
They typically kind of just go away. Let's
College Hockey says Zards are red, violets are blue. The only mod worth coming to see is you.
No.
Aw. Ooh, State Fan says broken heart.
State Fan, I love you.
Wow.
A door in front. Why is there a door in front of there now?
Who even knows?
All right, go fill this up.
So Junior says my farm just got destroyed by a zombie horde in my single player game. I lost a lot of corn. I got really sad because I just read my farm just got destroyed, and I was like, oh, that's so awful. Oh wow, I'm here says, have you ever thought of playing some Jackbox for Warden Wednesday sometime? Been a few months. Yeah, Jack.
I know. We'll do it soon, don't worry.
Soon isn't soon enough.
State Fan, no, Jack, I don't love you anymore. Only Katie, you broke my heart. Oh, State Fan, no, why? Ew, who's making boiled meat? Gross.
What do you mean gross?
Well, boiled meat's not as good as grilled meat. We can make grilled meat.
Oh.
So there's no point in making boiled meat.
There's no point in making you. What?
Ouch.
Does that hurt your feelings?
It hurts my feelings.
I just had a question.
What's that?
Are there any video game characters that you can play where you can dress them in the hijab? Is that how you say it?
Probably.
Because I just saw that character walk out and she had a scarf over her head and mouth, but I don't know if that's like a smoke thing. Also, while we were at the park, when we were leaving the park, someone... Oh, there's a few people that have it. Oh, never mind. It could just be a smoke thing. But it's an interesting question.
No,
Like,
absolutely.
even in Grand Theft Auto or something where there's a lot of customization.
Look at this tunnel someone's made.
There was a guy that had this mask over his face, like when he was jogging, and I know I've seen that before. I don't know what it does. Whether it like restricts or it like increases oxygen or whatever it is that it does. But his was like the Joker smile, and he was running around in a children's park. I was like, cool.
It's kind of creepy.
Someone's going to ask you to leave real soon.
All right, so it's 5 o'clock.
You're 5 o'clock.
Crunch.
Are you excited about your TV show? Did you tell everybody about it?
My TV show?
Or your kids show?
Oh, Schooled?
Yeah.
Yeah, Schooled's great. You should go watch it. It's available now on YouTube. YouTube.com/Achievement Hunter.
It's on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was on the website.
It's also
so
on
easy.
AchievementHunter.com. You get $1 million, but Dino becomes your brother-in-law. I'm okay with that.
Dino does?
Sure, Dino Claw.
But he didn't get me any chickens.
Why would... What?
Okay, yeah, it decreases oxygen. It's meant to put you in a higher altitude to train, or it's like putting you in a higher altitude to train you better. It says go Kings go. Yeah, I figured it was something like that. But he was wearing a Joker one. And I was like, I don't know how well that's going to fly, or how long it's going to fly for.
Not a big fan.
I neither got a said Jack. It honestly made me sad that you were the last person.
Aw. You haven't watched it, have you?
No, not yet.
Don't worry, you're not spoiling anything. I think I told you pretty much all of it anyway.
Yeah, you did. DMB Dan says, Katie will lock Sherry in her room until State delivers the correct amount of chickens. Just like that. Not until he delivers the chickens, but the correct amount of chickens.
There is a certain amount of chickens. All right, so I got all the columns up. That's good.
Killjoy John says, just got my tickets for Let's Play Live Orlando. So hyped.
Sweet. Oh, did you see someone tweeted the marquee from Orlando? We're up on it now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty rad.
Pretty soon.
State fan, you get $1 million, but Katie turns into a chicken for 24 hours once a week. Who gets the $1 million? Do I get the $1 million?
You turn into a chicken for 24 hours. That's a whole day of every week.
That would save a lot of money on food.
Would it? Then you have to buy chicken feed. And you have to clean up after me.
Well, or you just, you could clean up after yourself.
When I become a human again? Then I want the $1 million.
But it's for me.
No. What if a cat eats me?
I'll teach Ellie and Kusei to be your friend.
What if I get ripped apart by a fox, but when the 24 hours is up, I return to human form?
Ew.
So it's like a disembodied me.
King Cobra, you going to bed? Hey, Wi-Fi's giving me trouble, so good night. I just stepped down here. King Cobra, thank you very much for coming, man.
I just made myself feel sick with my own metaphorical situation.
So I talked to Real Big Fish today. That was pretty cool.
You actually... I thought you said they liked your tweet.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still, it's pretty rad. They like my tweet.
That
I mean,
doesn't mean that you talked to them.
I was tweeting to them, and they were responding.
No,
kind
they
of.
didn't. They liked your tweet. I love you, but they liked...
Wow, you just straight up laughed at me. No, they didn't. Wow, all right, that's cool.
I'm so sorry.
Whatever.
Look, Matt and Kim, that was them talking
Yeah, I've
to
talked
you.
to Matt and Kim a few times.
But like, I'm sorry. I know you love Real Big Fish. I just don't. I didn't know like if
So
anything.
that chicken thing's looking pretty good, State fan. By the way, if
my bad. I'm sorry. That was me. I kind of got a little excited. There are bloody things.
it's getting dark.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna break this rock a little bit
What for?
because I need more rocks, and it's just out here on its own.
Ooh, I hear. Did zombies nearby? Oh, I can hear something.
Crunch.
Look out for your face. I asked Jack today if he had a favorite song, and he said he didn't, and I was sad.
I mean, I can't think of like one in particular song.
I feel like this is all I would do, is I would like mow the grass.
You just mow. Well, this is good. You get pieces for it.
I'd be like, the ground looks a little uneven.
I don't know if it regrows either.
Ooh. You D&B dances, you get $1 million, but all of your mods have to live in your basement for a year. I mean, that would cost $1 million, right?
Well, I mean, like, did they live there? Like, do they pay their own rent and stuff? Green Splat, hey, Jack, had an awesome time meeting you at PAX this weekend. That was the guy, Ruby Onesie. Can't wait for the... Oh, nice. Nice to meet you, man. Can't wait for Theater Mode Club. We have a couple really cool movies for Theater Mode Club, and that's going to be quite exciting. Is this clay? No, it's just dirt.
Damn. You tried. You tried real hard. Ooh, that sun is going down.
Yep. Everyone back to base. Let's see where everyone is right now.
Brian Monaghan.
Oh, man, we don't have many people.
How long have you and Katie been married, and
here.
how long have you worked at Achievement Hunter? Yes. Yee, get back to
Yeah, we
base.
need to get back. We're starting to unlock a bunch of the map. That's looking better.
What's that red?
That's where you get hurt if you get too far outside of it.
Oh.
All right.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted. How long have we been married for?
It'll be 4 years this year.
4 years in November.
Steel arrowheads. Nice.
And I think Jack has worked at Achievement Hunter technically for, well, he's worked there for 9 years, but technically, like, full-time for 8. Is that right?
That sounds right.
Yeah. Or somewhat at random. If I sub and join game now, will I spawn in your base or somewhere at random?
He'll spawn somewhere at random.
Somewhere at random because you don't have a bed yet. Science guy says just trying to figure out whether to sub before or after the night of hell.
DB Dan, you get $1 million, but state delivers no chickens. No chickens?
I'd probably take it. Wait, what's $1 million for though? Just $1 million? 4 years of marriage. Senior says ew. Aw, sad day.
Oh, it's just... Damn it. That's just cement. That's not actual.
It's actually kind of sad that... Or not kind of sad. Why did I say sad? It's actually kind of strange. That
It's a little bit funny.
A little bit funny. That,
Crush sand.
that it's been so long. Sorry, I keep getting distracted. Ugh.
Stones.
Oh no. Oh wow, I'm here says my arm is killing me after baseball. Gonna get some rest. Good night. I forget what I was saying. I keep doing that. I keep reading the chat and losing my place, Jack. I'm doing a terrible job.
Well, you're not doing a terrible job. You're doing a great job.
You're doing a great job. What? 4 years of marriage. What is that? Is 4? One is paper. Is 4 leather? Or is 3 leather?
I'm not sure.
Me either.
All right. Oh, crap. It's about to start. All right.
Does everyone have ammo? I said $1 million, but you have to eat every meal for the rest of your life with chopsticks. And Jack went, no. Which I get. I wouldn't either.
$1 million, put a beard in your mouth, whistles at cute girls as they walk by. But wait, what? A mouth in your beard. Ah, I get it. Ah, crap. All right.
So you have like a
I'm putting some arrows in the food stand.
rapey is a hard word, but like you have like a what do you call that? A salty beard. Like
need feathers.
Not a salty like the garnish or like the I'm just gonna go no.
I'll take that too.
YOLO Master said this is my first stream watching Jack. Me too.
Okay, here we go. This is about to get a little messy. Demon Dan, 4th year anniversary gift, traditional linen silk modernist appliances.
Oh.
Ooh, I can get you some appliances. That'll be fun.
Or you could get me new bed sheets.
Nope, appliances it is.
No.
All right, here we go. Oh, God.
I'll turn it down.
This is going to suck.
State fan, $1 for Katie. $1 million, but every time you hug Jack, his beard grows little arms and hugs you too. Grows little arms. It depends what the arms look like. Like if they're creepy, gross, like hands, I probably couldn't do that. But if they were like really comically cute little 3-fingered arms made of hair and they were just like, nee, and it like they petted me, then that would be fine. But if they were like gross arms, I wouldn't be into that.
Okay.
Brian Monaghan says that they subscribed. Did we miss it? I didn't see it.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Maybe it will. Why didn't it come up? Or did it? And I missed it. Oh, new warden. Oh, sorry, we missed it. Thank you, Brian.
By the power of the beard, we are bonded. Thank you, Brian.
Appreciate it. Sorry, we missed it.
Sorry, things are getting a little hectic tonight.
So if you're just joining us, welcome. Tonight is Warden Wednesday. Wardens are our lovely, loving rather name for our subscribers. And we play games with them on Wednesday nights. We're playing, and by we I mean Jack is playing 7 Days to Die. I'm Caiti. That's Jack. And together, we are Caiti. That's not true. JD. Pattillo. What else is there? Jod. Anyway, thank you. The Science Guy 23 just subscribed.
Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you kindly. The reason that Jack is a little focused right now is because he's playing 7 Days to Die, and it is a Horde night, which means basically all hands on deck. It's an open server that, or rather a multiplayer server.
What's going on here?
That Jack shares with fellow wardens. Wow, so scary. I try to avert my eyes. I made him wear headphones so I didn't hear it. So, excuse me. Excuse me. We were going to start streaming earlier, but we got stuck at dinner by a waiter who was... No, I don't like to complain. But it was a slow night. Caitlin Mari says, speaking of marriage, will we see you two on relationship goals?
Possibly. We'll see.
I watched a little bit of Meg and Gavin's in that I watched a snippet on Twitter that Gavin stood Meg up the first night of their first date. And she was like, mofo, you will go on a date with me. And she made him go out with him. Because he was like, it's raining. I don't want to go out because it's raining. And then apparently he like got into his pajamas and was like ready for bed or whatever. And she was like, excuse me, we're going on a date. And he's like, nah, it's raining. And she goes, you will go on a date with me. And so he was like, okay, and put his clothes back on and went out.
Nice.
It's just funny. Not
that sounds like something Gavin would do.
But yeah, not Meg. I say that not. I'm definitely paraphrasing Meg. Not in like a I'll get my way, but in a how dare you stand me up. You know,
yeah.
I deserve better than that. You better put some pants on because we're going out. Which I think is awesome. YOLO Master says, Jack, how much do you like Gavin?
I like Gavin a lot. He's an incredibly smart dude.
Very, very smart. Junior says, so you can only join if you're a sub. Right, you can only, this is sort of like our way of saying thanks to the Wardens for subscribing
Who's firing a gun?
To our channel. So, or rather Jack's, I don't know, I guess we're both on it. To our channel, the Caiti channel.
It's our channel, it's not just my channel.
But it's your name. We'll talk about this later.
Oh, I almost just ran off. That would have been very bad.
That would have been pretty terrible. So yeah, so it's kind of like a way of saying thanks to Wardens and just to hang out and have fun and meet, you know, our awesome community. It's a kind of magic. Imagine Nerd says, how long did it take to build this whole fort / how much fun was it to build?
It's taken quite a long time, actually. I mean, 35 days, so...
35. Katie, why did you change your last name? That's funny. The older I get... Sorry, 1 second. Sorry. Okay. No one panic. I have another glass. The older I get, the strangely more offended I get at that question.
The what?
Offended, but it's not like real offend. Like it's not like how dare you, but more I like question this so silly, but the social construct of it. Where I'm just like, why should a woman have to change her last name? Like, why is it automatically? And I know you're asking a very normal, very okay question to ask, you know, okay is giving you a lot of leeway. I'm trying to dig up here. It's very difficult.
State fan. Why didn't Jack take your last name, Katie? Nice.
That's
well
more
played,
like
sir.
it. No. Professionally, the answer basically is
a repair kit and an iron shovel.
why did I shouldn't have to. The second answer is because I'm an individual who had established myself with my own last name.
Wow.
So professionally, I didn't want to. I mean, if it's a choice, you don't have to. A lot of people do it because they want to be like in the same family tree. Like they all want to be a part of like kind of the same clan, which makes sense. The third answer is in Texas, legally you have to. So unless you fill out a form, it's basically they don't ask you if you want to, they do it anyway, and then you have to adjust it. So professionally, I'm Ward, but legally I am part of the Pattillo clan. Oh, my fourth answer, if I don't know how many I'm up to now, is because my family, my father's side of the family, unfortunately didn't really achieve a great deal. My grandmother and my grandfather, or my nanny and granddad as I called them, were in the Second World War. And they had really bad PTSD. And just depression, and they became really bad alcoholics. And my dad was a really bad alcoholic. He had depressive alcohol. It's just I don't know. So he was a depressed alcoholic as well. So it's kind of like the Wards on my side didn't really get a chance to achieve a great deal. So I feel like every time I achieve something, I'm doing it for them as well. It's kind of like they didn't get the help that they needed, which is unfortunate because now they've all passed away. So it's like I like to achieve things and kind of say, well, I'm not doing that because of them, but more so I like to share that with that, if that makes any sense. Ward family history lesson. Yeah, a lot of mental illness. But it's pretty interesting. My grandfather was in the Navy and my grandmother was a plane spotlight. So she actually lit up the planes that were coming over to drop bombs. So that's pretty fast. I didn't get to speak to them too much about it, unfortunately. And very sadly, I had again with the Wards, good old Wards. Unfortunately, my father's sister, my auntie, was also, she had very bad bipolar, or rather, you can't say very bad, but that she didn't treat it in a way that would enhance her life. And so during one of her less happy spells, she kind of took everything that was war hero-y, and we've never been able to recover them. So I don't have anything Ward related, unfortunately. So much so that I went and spent like $300 on these name things. I couldn't believe it. I was so upset. These like it's like a piece of paper, but it's what do you call them? It's like the history of the last name, basically, that has the
Genealogy.
Yeah, and it's got the coat of arms on it. And I spent so much time and money on them. I got ours framed professionally, so it's adding like another, $200 on top of it. Anyway, presented them to my family finally, and my mom went, "This says it's British." I'm like, "Yeah, because they're from England, duh." And my mom goes, "Yeah, except they're Irish, duh." And I was like, "What?" So I went ahead and got the Ward genealogy the British genealogy, but the Ward actually, my last name actually comes from Ireland. They moved to England, so yay! But I would have known that had I ever gotten to see any of the stuff that was in their house, or rather, like as an adult, because I didn't remember it as a kid. So that's my little story. PK Hill says, "I understand that Caiti, one of my great uncles, survived Pearl Harbor and helped get his ship underway out of there. I wish I could have met him." Yeah, it's cool. I ask, Michelle Hughes says, "I ask because my family now is all girls. There's no one to carry in the last name, but I want to. Thanks for sharing." Oh, no worries. I'm sorry if I made you feel like it was a silly question. It's not a silly question. It's a very legitimate question, especially now day and age, where that's kind of just tradition is to do that. And that especially makes sense. My grandfather, he had a boy and 3 girls, is my mom's side. And his only son had 3 girls. So effectively his last name is gone, which was very, sad for him. And so we thought that Sexman Mike, what? Less than 2 hours until SpaceX launch.
Heck yeah, SpaceX.
Thank you, Sexman
Sorry,
Mike.
I'm very focused right now. That's
why I'm talking.
I know, and you're doing a great job, and that's why I love you.
Whoa, I'm just talking so much.
You guys, how awesome is Caiti?
Oh my god.
Throw some hype in the chat for Caiti.
So much talking.
She's pretty awesome.
Oh.
I love her. I'm so fortunate to have her in my life.
I just want to show I'm not holding a weapon.
We did it. We did it.
Yay, you did it.
It's a new night. Oh, we got a cop, though. Fat cop.
No, I'll go away. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. And so he had 3 daughters. And so his last name effectively is just kind of gone now.
Stay Fences, Katie's the best. I agree.
Aw, thank you, Stephen. Nolts Casey says, "Pretty much my whole family served. Uncle was Special Forces, Sergeant Major." That's cool. Joined when he was 17 and he's messed up from it physically. He's getting cared for though, and it's a great family. And has a great family. That's good. Yeah, I mean it's very, very, very difficult. Even people who are quite removed when they're serving from like direct like infantry still have to deal with just things that I couldn't even do it. My grandpa was in Peyton's.
Ooh, night vision goggles.
Aw. CBY says, "Caiti, my grandpa was in Peyton's 3rd Army, but by the time I came to know him, he was in his final stages of Alzheimer's." That's unfortunate. I wish more than anything. It sucks because now it's like, what did I say the other day? Hindsight is perfect vision.
Yeah.
As an adult, I'm like, man, I wish I had spent more time talking to my grandpa. But unfortunately, I didn't really get a whole lot of time. My grandpa was an interesting man, though. He was a cabinet maker. So he made furniture from hand, and then he decided to be a police officer. So he was a rural police officer, and he had a horse that he loved, and he rode around on his horse. But he was also I don't know what he sheared? He shorn? I
think sheared is the right word.
Sheared sheep, and was very into the hard yakker Australian life. I'd like to hide mints around his house. I just remember I'd always
freaking out.
Steal them, and then I get in trouble.
All right.
Yellow Master says, who's your favorite achievement hunter, Jack?
My favorite achievement? I don't know. We're all pretty awesome in our own ways. I'm going to try not to kill myself here. Whoop. All right,
Nice.
good job.
Thank you, DMB Dan. Katie gave you $1 million. Katie, what did it say? Oh, here it is. You get $1 million, but every time you pick on Sherry, Jack gets an inch shorter. I think that'd be okay. Foxerton, just subscribe.
Foxerton, thank you very much, Fox.
Thank you. I feel like someone said that somebody asked something. Oh, my mom didn't take my dad's name, so it makes it easier to spot telemarketers. That's funny. Soyabean says, my family name rests on me too, and I'm considering becoming a priest, so it's in jeopardy of not continuing either. My thing was, I have 2 brothers, and they're the only grandsons of my grandfather. And one of them, my younger brother, was considering taking his last name. Just because he doesn't really remember my dad terribly, or I'm sure what he does remember he doesn't love. But I don't think he's going to do that now. Oh, that's cool. CBY says, I'm entering religious life soon. My brother has all girls, so most likely will be the last to have our surname, but that's no great loss. A, our families will continue, and B, your parish will be the children you lead into the future. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my cousin has a son, another Pattillo, so our line will be okay.
If we exclusively have girls.
Yeah, so Patillos will live on at least one more generation. Mm-hmm. Dang it.
Sorry, I'm reading these. Some of them are like a bit... Don't
worry, I'm just repairing spikes.
I just troop left them behind and they went to the bathroom. So awful. Tony Pie of Pizza says, I feel like I want my family name to end just to stop the sadness, honestly. My father didn't serve, but he was in the Red Cross during 9/11. They live in Long Island, and my mom always talks about how it changed him. He passed away when he was 11. He never got the support he needed from his family. And then mental illness kind of follows that him and his sister, or I don't know if Tony is I shouldn't assume gender. Well, that's really unfortunate. I think the benefit is a hard word, but you
shoes.
I feel like the hindsight for that is that you know that there is help out there for those diseases. So I hope that you and your sister are able to balance that. It's not easy. That's cool. Nolt says, my uncle gave me an American flag. They flew over their base somewhere in Iraq. Wow. That's really
pretty
cool.
neat.
State says, my family is full of girls, so I'm the only chance of passing on my name. Well, Sherry's keeping hers. No, I'm just kidding. I think I don't have a doubt in my mind that our kids will be Patillos. I mean, I'm not really interested in trying to figure that out. Just be like, nah, you're efficient. That's fine. You be you. Soybean says, so Jack and Katie are having kids because Baby Jones needs a BFF. Baby Jones. I like that a lot. My sister-in-law is actually trying to convince me to have children soon. But
is she?
Yeah, remember she said that our nephews needed friends and she didn't want them to be too old.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm not terribly worried about it.
Okay. Why can't I put... There it goes.
There you go. Boise says, Jackie's still playing Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I am. I haven't played as much as I'd like to, but I am still playing it. Alright, I need more wood. Oh, crikey. There's Where's the bridge?
State says, don't really care about passing on names, though, just passing on family heirlooms and memories. I don't really have any family. I mean, my pa did this really funny thing, and by funny, I mean, like, totally out of character. My hammer does. The last time I saw him, he, was it the last time? It may actually very well have been the last time I saw him, because he passed away mid last year. He handed me this envelope, and it had "do not open" in front of everybody because it was at a family gathering. And he just put it in my hand, like, while I was hugging him. Like, I leaned back and he, like, put it in my hand. And in it was this ring. And it was like, this is from your grandmother or something. I don't know. I have the letter or the little thing in it somewhere. But basically, it was I guess a family heirloom. And I had worn it as my wedding ring for a long time. Because mine are too big. But I think that's pretty much the only thing that I have that's like an heirloom. And I've actually been thinking about it. I was like, what can I get that I can pass on to my kids as something kind of like precious? And should it be advice and not something tangible? Like, should it be, remember this, and remember to tell your children this, and their children this? I don't know.
What would that be?
The advice?
Yeah.
I guess I have to wait until I'm older to figure it out. I probably haven't discovered it yet. But it would probably be something to do with being kind to yourself leads to the kindness you need for others, or something. Something like the more you hate yourself, the more that affects others. Like, the more that kind of you project that onto.
Yeah, well, what is it, like put into the world what you want out of it or something?
Yeah, but yes.
Do unto others. I mean, that's the golden rule.
Right, but I want it to be more like start from you, you know? But then I also think, like, do stuff for other people, because then that makes you feel better. Like, that makes you feel good. I don't know. I just think that, I think that if we forgive ourselves for the things we so easily forgive others for, we would spend a lot less time telling ourselves we can't do things or we shouldn't do something. Like, and I don't mean go kill a guy. I'm talking about.
I'm glad you do mean don't kill a guy.
I mean things like, you know, I don't think I can stand up to my boss to get that promotion because I don't think I'm worth getting that promotion. It's like, you know, things like that. Or I don't think I can make that movie because, you know, who would want to produce a movie that I've written? Or I can't be an engineer because I'm not smart enough. Or, you know, kind of just.
Ow.
Oh no, the spikes.
Yeah.
It'd probably be something along the lines of, like, treat yourself like you treat the people you love. Because if you said that to me, I'd be like, you're flipping crazy. But if I say it to myself, I'm like, yeah, you're right, you suck. So.
Treasure map.
A grim dark figure says, make a fake key to a safety deposit box, then tell them that you left something important in it with your dying breath. God.
All right, let's read the treasure map, everybody. Read Sarah's treasure.
Sarah's treasure?
All right. So, let's see if we can find. So there's a treasure right there.
Master Cyclonus says, so Jack, would you ever consider being a main member for Heroes and Halfwits?
Yeah, it'd be fun. All right, so that's new treasure. That's treasure.
PK Hill says, Katie wants me to kill a guy. I guess I've got no choice. I'm a follower. I'm a follower, not a leader.
This one over here, right? Okay, sounds gone. All right.
I don't know.
Okay.
What would your advice be to a child?
I mean, it's basically that. It's like whatever. My sort of philosophy is make the world a better place than what you started with.
Mine is make it worse.
So do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And that's kind of the big key, right? That's the bang tree.
Strife Delivery says, wait, this doesn't look like Quidditch. That's it. Unsub. Table flip. Ione the Goddess says, another interesting thing. I'm the only person in my family with my last name. Interesting.
Steel shovel.
Foxerton says, Jack, what inspired you to get a degree in film? I'm planning on getting one myself and was wondering what was your plan?
I got a degree in film. I need forged iron.
You were going to go in for computer science, right?
Yeah, I was going to be a computer scientist. There was someone making forged iron here, I thought. I was going to do computer science. And then I took a film class, and I had a lot of fun taking it. I realized I've always been fascinated by movies. And so I decided, hey, I'm gonna make movies. And so I did.
Technically, that is a Bachelor of Science, right? Excuse me.
Yeah, Bachelor of Science. Yeah.
That's cool. And Junior says, if you had to play anyone other than Mercy in Overwatch, who would you play?
Probably like Zenyatta or Ana, something like that. Someone some kind of helper. I like the helpers.
That's very Mr. Rogers of you.
Yeah, look for the helpers.
Ms. Wayne says, or MS Wayne. I'm just gonna say, I loved hearing the stories my grandma would tell me. My grandma was born in 1927. Passed away 4 years ago. My grandpa was born in the 30s. They lived a very long life, so I love to sit down and listen to their stories. Oh, I had this. That's very cool and very awesome that you do listen to it. I think that half of living so long is passing down knowledge so that goddamn mother flipping kids don't have to make the same mistakes. Like, I wish that I'd had that hindsight when I was younger. It's like if I just listened to my parents, well, maybe less my parents and more my grandparents, they would actually tell me stuff. Although the first time I got my period, my grandmother was unsympathetic. And I mean in every sense of the word. She came over and she's like, what are you doing on the couch? And I'm like, I have my period. And she's like, well, get used to it. And then just walked away. And I was like, shit, all right.
Nice, Grandma.
God. Like, she did.
Well played.
She's like, I had 4 kids. You think I'd give a fuck? Sorry, that was just pretty much my grandma's attitude.
Wonder.
She's like, I do not care. She's like, you got your heat thing? Cool, bye. So yeah, it was, my first period was horrific. It was I was like, if this is what it means to be a woman, kill me now. There's no point. Existence is futile. What was the point of my story?
Not positive.
Listening to grandparents.
Farm's looking good. I'll get some mushrooms.
Oh yeah. So Jack's grandmother, she's 97 this year. When she was living next door to Jack's parents, she's in a retirement home now. She wrote down all of the family from like her siblings, because she had like 11 siblings or something like that.
A whole lot, yeah.
And so she wrote down her parents and then every one of her siblings and their children on a piece of paper. And I don't know what happened to that piece of paper. And I'm so sad about it. But she like just went through and told me all about what they did. And she was an accountant or a bookkeeper. And she had a ledger. And back then they didn't have printers. So or like computers, so she would handwrite everything into these ledgers, and so she has beautiful handwriting. Or she did. I think she had a stroke, and that's why
she had a stroke.
So one of her hands doesn't work quite as well.
She is still sharp as a tack, though.
Oh my goodness! You try playing board games with her, you are going to lose.
Yeah, she will end you when it comes to board games.
Saxon Mike says, my grandparents gave me a crisp $20 bill every year for my birthday. On my 18th, they gave me a wrinkled $1 bill. Never got money from them again. Welcome to adulthood. I love that. My aunt used to send me $5 for every birthday. And I never, because I didn't know thank you cards were a thing. Because I guess I had shitty parents. No, just kidding. But it wasn't until I was older that I realized, wow, my aunt did not have to do that. And so I started to send Christmas cards and thank you things. Nults Casey says, my mama is a savage. She straight up said in front of my mom and uncle, if I could have skipped the kids and gone straight to the grandkids, I would have.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
All right, let's get some food.
Ione says, another interesting thing. I'm related to royalty and a reporter who was on the Titanic. Interesting.
Nice.
Does she, Grimdark Future says, does she play Settlers of Catan? I don't know. I'm pretty good. Probably doesn't.
All right.
Looking
good.
YOLO says, Katie or Jack, Jack or Katie, do you have any advice on how to ask a girl out on a date?
Do I? I don't know about
This is where
that.
all of your years of game come in, Jack.
Game. No, I don't have any advice. I don't know. I've never been the guy to like go to a bar and like approach random people or anything like that. Like pretty much everyone I've dated has been someone I've known or was introduced by a friend.
They didn't specifically say that it wasn't someone that they didn't know. They didn't give any context.
I guess so.
So basically what you're saying is you like to date ladies you don't know, so there's no attachment, so that you can leave in the morning and they'll never call you.
Yes, that is precisely what I said. Katie.
Savage. I'm going to really quickly take back what I said a second ago about game, because it's not a game. I was just being sarcastic.
State fan, wait. How did Jack ask Katie on her date, or did Katie ask Jack?
Oh, that's a great question.
How did I ask you on a date, Katie?
I don't think you did. I don't think we've ever been on a date.
Well, I'm sure we've been on dates.
I don't think we have. Have we?
I think so. We've gone and done date things.
Oh, we've done date things.
That's a big tree.
But our whole dating life was in separate countries. God, now I'm stumped. We had a pseudo date, but it wasn't a date. We were just, we did date-like things, but we were just friends. Like, we went to Putt-Putt and to a movie, but you were just showing me around Austin. Yeah,
we were buddies. DB Dan, Jackie, $1 million, but for the next 10 years can only eat salads for dinner. Okay. I'll do that. Maybe. Again, it's one of those things, I don't like anything that's like crazy long amount of time.
It's like $1 million isn't that much when you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice, but, you know, that'll pay off my house, which would be great.
My advice for the dating thing is, if it's someone you don't know, and it's like, oh, I catch the bus with this person every, Wednesday, and I just haven't been able to talk to them really.
Stay fan, $1 million, but you have to adopt Casavara. Sure, why not? As long as, because like he would take care of us when we get old.
It has a lot to do with self-confidence when it comes to rejection. And I'm not saying that that's exactly like that's what's going to happen, but a lot of it is realizing your self-worth. If somebody doesn't want to date you, that's okay. That just means someone else wants to date you more, or maybe that person has a partner, or and they're being loyal to that person like you. I don't know. If they say no, that's okay. Someone else will say yes. Like, that is the first rule of asking someone out. is if they say no, that's okay. It is totally 100% okay. And you don't have to hate that person. That's their life and they can do what they want, you know?
You get $1 million, but you can't stream anymore. Ooh.
Yes.
You'd be done? Be done that quickly?
No. But then in terms of actually doing the asking out, if it's somebody that you know, personal space is always important if you're doing it face to face. And just saying, like, have you ever thought of maybe going on a date? Or
The state gate mind the cat. That's awesome.
Just kind of like, no pressure, be chill. Is this something you might want to do? I've been thinking about it.
College Hockey says, what's the most romantic thing to happen to either one of you? Yeah, well, Katie, what is the most romantic thing that's ever happened to you?
While you think about that, I'm going to quickly finish my thought.
Okay.
If it's someone you don't know, and say the example is you ride the bus with them, maybe just hand them a note. Like, this is all me assuming you're a dude and you're asking a woman out. That's very, very presumptuous of me, and I apologize. So I should preface this with, I'm assuming you are a heterosexual male asking out who you think is a heterosexual female. Please correct me if I'm wrong, because that changes some things. In that I don't know in most other situations.
You get $10 million, but Katie has to move back to Australia for 10 years. You have to resume your long-distance relationship. Nope.
No.
That's an easy no on that one.
No.
No, thank you. I love Katie too much for her to be back.
Oh, I love money too much.
Nice. Well played.
I'm just kidding. I have no idea what is happening. I kind of just went a little crazy with this advice. Basically, personal space. If someone says no, that's okay, because someone else is going to say yes. And that doesn't mean that person's a bad person. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that that's not the person for you. Twitch Prime.
Shylocker21. Thank you very much, Shylocker21. By the power of the beard, we are bonded.
Thank you.
So what's the most romantic thing? See, for me, it's like Katie's taking care of me when I've been sick, and that's huge to me. Like,
have I though?
Yes, like knowing that.
But I forced tea down your throat. I'm like, drink this. This'll make you better.
I'm trying to help you here, baby.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'd say that's the kind of stuff that's like, when she's there to take care of me when I can't take care of myself.
I make the bed sometimes.
Yeah, it's awesome. So that's the most important thing, I think. Oh,
Smiles, it's Gunman 95. Smile, it's Gunman 95.
Smile.
2 months in a row.
Thank you very much. By the power of the beer, we are bonded. Thank you very much for that.
I forgot who asked that dating question also.
I have a bunch of stuff I can.
Oops,
sorry.
Sorry, those.
I can level up.
The most romantic thing Jack has done. I used to write it down, honestly. Trying to remember. I think it's gonna sound so corny, but you asked the question, so this is your fault, not mine. But genuinely, it is. God, again, you asked. Brace yourself. It's going to sleep every night and saying I love you. And having that.
We're adorable.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
We're adorable.
Ugh. Oh God, and Lennon's here.
Oh,
Gross.
is he? Oh no.
But yeah, I think it's hard because you kind of do things every day. Like Jack does cute things where he'll do something for me, and it's less about what he did and more about how excited he is that he did it. Like Like he'll either get me something or he'll do something nice, and the thing that he did is probably, I mean, is usually amazing, but it's that he's super excited that he did it, and he's just like kind of waiting to see what I think of it. I think is the sweetest. But I think it's definitely going
Let's see, I can make mechanical parts, steel arrowheads. That's good.
going to sleep.
State fan, we need to repeat the dating advice for Landon. Oh, is Landon looking for a date now?
Lennon, he's I'm keeping my eye out for American girls for Lennon. I don't think we really, I mean, we dated, but we did it long distance. So I would take you to the park, and I mean, the time difference was rough because you were waking up and I was going to sleep, or I was asleep. When were you going to work?
I usually go to work
when I
like
was asleep.
8 or 9 in the morning, so it'd be like,
Maybe like 1 in the morning.
yeah, it was like right as you were going to bed, and I'd be going to work.
And then I'd have to call him on my lunch break, or not have to, but that was when he was off work and it was like nighttime, you know, but like normal time nighttime. And
Yeah.
I would talk to him, and then I would get home from work and he would be in bed going to sleep. And so it was a little rough.
Okay, so I'm going to, what should I do? What should I use it on? Should I use it on Quality Joe, where I find good stuff? Found quality items. Points to found item. I think I might do this. I think I might bump up Quality Joe.
I like Maxwell says, I feel like most people get barad at work. That's like, how do I know if my girlfriend is pregnant?
Pernanagat.
We're watching these, my friend Michelle sent me these YouTube videos of Yahoo questions, and it's like, if my girlfriend has starch marks, has she been pregnant?
Stay fan. So what are we saying is the worst part about dating Australians? The wacky sleep schedule one has to have.
Dating Australians?
I like the
specifically?
state fans asking this question
It's
too.
like, no, I mean, there's nothing behind this, but like, just saying, the worst part of dating Australians.
So I need some pants
Yeah.
or some better leg armor.
I think you just need clothes in general.
There we go. Look at me. Look how ripped I am. I'm ripped like Jesus.
The schedule is rough. How much money it costs is also rough to like fly back and forth. Jack used to send me date boxes every month, which was very cute because I never sent him anything. And I'm sure that was expensive. So the whole thing is just
Nice mustache, Brian.
nice. Aw. It is YOLO Master. John K, thanks for the advice. Also, you're right. I'm a dude asking out a girl I love so much. Okay, since you prefaced that it's somebody that you care a lot about, please remember that you are worth loving, and it's okay if this person doesn't love you back, because someone is going to. Someone is out there who is going to love the absolute crap out of you. And if it's not this person, that sucks, and I'm sorry, but it's okay.
So Australians are expensive as well, or was Katie expensive? Katie wasn't expensive. The mailing the boxes to Katie was expensive, but that wasn't her fault.
Also, I'm expensive. I mean, to be fair, I moved to the country and immediately had to have my wisdom tooth out.
Hey, Mr. Ivysaur, what's up, man?
With no insurance. So that was a little expensive. It was a lot expensive.
What do you want, right?
It's the accent that's expensive, says Color Chucky. Oh my gosh. All right, guess we're doing an advice stream. This Sponia says, so when I was 16, I bowled a 3... I like that this is the preface. What's happening is terrible, but I love that you prefaced it with this. So when I was 16, I bowled a 300 in my bowling league. It was also the day I got my very first girlfriend. also the
It's a good day.
I got my very first girlfriend, and I found she was cheating on me on Christmas Eve, and she wants to talk to me saying she misses me. I don't know what to do. Jack.
Ouch.
The bowling applies to you, and the girlfriend applies to you. Not the cheating part, but the fact that you date women.
Thank you. Man, I have no idea on that one. That's rough, man. Sorry, this is not. I'm not the person to be asking this stuff right now.
Do you want to talk to her? I mean, that's really up to. Did someone subscribe? No. Okay. If you want to be Crips, I'm not going to take that away from you. So quote. Amazing. I think if you want to talk to her, then you can talk to her. I mean, nothing has to happen if you don't want it to. If you're curious, you can just find out what she wants. But I mean, you're your own person, and you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And also, if she's your first girlfriend, there are plenty of people out there, and I say plenty of people. It really is such a lame thing to say. I apologize. I shouldn't have said that. But I mean to say, again, it comes down to self-worth, that you deserve to be in a relationship that is healthy, where the person respects and loves you and, is a partner and has your back, someone that you can trust. And if you don't feel like that's that person, whether you're 16 or 35, then you don't, you deserve somebody who is your best friend, Oh. Laser Beam Twitch. What if I have a terrible personality? Will someone love me? No one will ever love you.
Katie with the hard truth.
So Lannon and I went to Lannon and I. It was just Lannon. No one else was. Sorry, we went to an escape room and Lannon came. And I because it's an escape room, it's a puzzle room. I was like, I know that Lennon's shtick, am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that he says he's dumb. And I think a little bit he thinks that because he didn't finish high school. Like, or he's a high school he didn't finish. I don't know. But I don't think he's stupid. I think he's incredibly intelligent. I think he's surrounded by other very intelligent people, like his dad and his brothers. I think he is, well-liked and very loved by his family. And I think he's a good, well-rounded...
Just his family.
Exclusively his family. I think he's a very well-rounded and, incredibly passionate human being. And so my stipulation for going to the escape room was, you cannot tell me you are too stupid for this. And it's funny because I forgot to say it to him until he got in the car. He's like, oh, I'm going to suck at this because I'm too stupid. And I was like, that's right. I was going to tell you, you aren't allowed to tell me you're too stupid for this. So the whole escape room was basically him either stopping himself from saying it or saying it just to annoy me. But I feel like it maybe worked a little bit. But anyway, I don't know what the point of my story is. Basically that Lannon is lame and he'll never get a wife.
So he'll never get a life or never get a wife?
Both. Katie is so nice to everyone but so mean to me. I can't help it. It's Testament. Hey, Katie, how do you generally prepare for auditions? I just read an email giving me the details about one, and I'm already getting very stressed. It depends. I imagine that is... where did that come from?
It was stuck under the gate.
Gross. I imagine it is an in-person one and not a voice audition. If it's a voice audition, I usually spend the day singing around the house. I just bellow songs to warm up my voice. And actually, I kind of do that for regular auditions too. It depends. I mean, it's really important to be really prepared. And I've heard from, again, I'm very inexperienced when it comes to this, but I've heard from different casting directors all kinds of different things. Some of them say you shouldn't bring your sides into the audition and that it makes you look like you're not prepared. And then some of them say if you don't bring your sides into the audition, it makes you look cocky. So the consensus is, or the medium is, to have your lines from the audition memorized as best you can. Excuse me. But to bring the sides in anyway, to show respect for the writers. Or to show respect, you know, for everyone. Just
Miss Drive Sword, hey Jack, is the base always open? But boo.
Boo. Boo. I don't know what we're doing. So yeah, always to be prepared and rehearse as much as you can. That's really important. But I think also reading about the character as best you can, like if they give you sort of the description of the character, reading that and interpreting that as best you can, but bringing what you think about the character to it. So they say it's like it's a post-apocalyptic story, and this, you know, woman has been running from these zombies, and she's all alone, and she meets a man who, you know, who's also been doing the same thing, and that's sort of like all the information they give you. Well, I mean, what are you going to think about that? She's going to be so cautious of that guy. So she's not going to be like, what are you doing here in the forest? She's going to be like, what? Don't come near me. Like, get away from me. I will kill you if you come anywhere closer. Like, you know, it's about making decisions for the character that you're playing and making your own decisions. Like, I would worry less about what you think they want and more about what you would do in that situation. Or like what you think the character would do, rather, not you as a human, but you as or you as an individual, but what you think the character would do, not what you think the casting director thinks the character would do, and commit to that decision unless they tell you otherwise. And if they say, yeah, we think she's a little bit softer, she's really lonely, so she's actually more excited to see this person, then use that and be, you know, willing to make that adjustment. But yeah, commit to your interpretation of the character and just come prepared. That's pretty much it. That's all you gotta do. It's so easy. It's not. Auditions suck, and casting directors, I know they have a job to do, but some of them are just like not nice.
The nicest people on the planet is what Katie's trying to say.
Some of them are just like uninterested. I'm missing some of these because I'm up to annual, I think. What type of work did you do in Australia, Katie? I started in customer. You want my resume, right? I started in customer service. I've worked in jewelry. The most significant ones are I've worked in jewelry and events. I was a kind of like a glorified receptionist I was definitely an office manager. I did manage the office. I was a glorified office manager and delivery girl. And then I worked at Tiffany's, where I was a
crossbow.
Yay!
The moon.
Ooh, the moon. And then
I have no crossbow bolts.
I ran events. I was in event management. But in between that, I've done like customer service, like working in retail and accounts payable, and but I've pretty much been working since I was like 5. Mr. I Have a Sword said, that is like why don't you be happy when talking to someone who is depressed? I don't know where that came from.
Oh, we got a screamer somewhere.
No, gross. My friend sent me a snap, and I'm going to check it. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. I bet it's cute. Oh.
Jesus.
She sent me a picture of her in a face mask.
Oh, bag fell.
I'm gonna write back not beige enough. Oh dear.
I gotta kill Fatty. Punk dead.
God. Nolt says, I can barely work up the nerve to ask for a to-go box at restaurants. I could never audition for anything. Auditioning is it's one part hard because you want to do a really good job, and then one part straightforward because in the end, if you didn't get it, then you don't have to think about it. It's like, oh, I didn't get it. Okay, that's one less thing I have to do. Like, on to the next thing, you know. Obviously, you would love to get it and get a role and be a part of something, but if it doesn't work out, it's like, okay, that's, you know, I can put my energy into something else now. And screw that guy or person. They don't know what they're missing. They could have this. Ow, I just poked myself in the face. Really
They can't have this. Stab.
I have never been, so there are times where I've been made to wait, you know, like over an hour for auditions and no one's come out and said, sorry about that. They're just like, yeah, we'll be with you shortly. And then they just like leave you and you have to be the one to say, is everything okay? And they're like, you can just wait. That would be great. And it's like, oh shit. All right. I'm sorry. But this one time I got actually like totally stood up for an audition where they went to lunch and they just left me. And so I was like, what should I do? And the person like that I was speaking to was like, I don't work for, I just run this building. Like, I would, if I was you, I would leave. Like, I would worry about these guys. So it was, that was the whole thing. Master Cyclonus says, so Caiti, there's this girl I just want to be friends with, yet I just worked up the nerve to talk to her. What do I do? I'm unsure of what your question is. Did you just work up the nerve to talk? Are you friends yet? just here. I need more information. Hello, I'm Wicked.
Mr. Ivysaur, was my sign moved to by the drawbridge? I don't know, Mr. Ivysaur.
That's why both my jobs are working with kids. I'm done with vet tech school. Kids are easier to be social with. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, kids don't care. Kids like, whatevs. Making my way downtown.
So how have you been today, Caiti?
Sorry. I'm very thirsty. Good to see you and just BS. What was the question again? How was my day?
How was your day?
It was pretty okay. Emma got a bath.
Emma got a bath.
Uh-huh.
She got her butt trimmed.
I'm actually kind of, she just got it de-shedded.
Oh, really? Oh, she didn't get it trimmed?
Does she normally?
Yeah, usually.
I think they didn't do a very good job this time. She didn't even get a bandana. I was really sad about it.
We pay for that bandana.
I mean, we do, so... But I didn't realize until we left, because the lady was like, there's no Emma here. And I'm like, you better find my dog. I'm going to be real mad about this. Some shit's about to go down. Jack, what would you say... This is my question. What would you say is the best part of getting older?
Best part of getting older is watching things evolve around you, like watching technology as time passes. Like tonight, for example, in about an hour, we're gonna watch a rocket launch in outer space and put a satellite there. That's pretty freaking rad. And I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by the future. So that's my favorite part of getting old. What is your favorite part of getting old? Are you gonna say it's being with you?
No. I
Okay,
didn't
good.
even think of that.
Because I would feel guilty if you said that. I'd be like,
No. I think getting older for me is being more forgiving of myself. And realizing that as I get older, I learn more, and it's hard to be so judgmental of myself in this at this stage of my life where I know things I didn't know. So it's like when you're especially a young person, and I mean young like a kid, even a teenager, you make decisions based on a collective of all the information that you've gained up until that point in time. You can only utilize the information that you have gained up to that point. So it's not fair of me at this age to judge the decisions I made then with new information I didn't have then. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So I think...
Well, that's why it's growing, right?
Right, but I think as I'm getting older, instead of applying that and going, man, I should have done that instead, as I get older, I can go, well, I didn't know that then. You know, like, had I known that then, obviously I would have made a different decision. Obviously I would have, said a different thing or done a different thing, but I didn't know that then. And I didn't realize that then, or I didn't think that then. So, so not only having,
Raw diamond.
new information, that's not what raw diamonds look like. I just want to point that out. Not important. But yeah, not only having new information, but not applying it to past decisions. So it's like a lot of people say, like, if I had known that, then I would have done this. But it's like, actually, I didn't know that then. There's no point in me even thinking if I knew that then, because I didn't. So that's the end of that, Like, I shouldn't keep thinking back and going, man, for example, my dad being sick, it's like, I didn't know that he was sick. I didn't know what that was. I didn't, know that it was called something. So it's like how I can't beat myself up over something I didn't understand. So yes. And then I just saw Master Cyclonus. I just want to say, and I'm talking to you and I want you to listen. Confidence is a word. That is fact. When it comes to anything you approach in your life, you need to apply two things. One of them is your self-worth. Do you deserve to belong somewhere? Do you deserve to be safe and happy and healthy and have good relationships and be respected? The answer to all of those questions is yes, always. You will always deserve those things. I mean, don't go on a murdering spree, that complicates things. But for now, assuming you haven't murdered anybody or done anything terrible, you deserve those things. After that, that's more complicated and it's beyond me. But you deserve to be loved, and you deserve to be respected, and you deserve to, to belong. So confidence is just a side effect of believing those things and knowing that you have self-worth. The other thing you need to apply is that everybody else in the world deserves those things too. So when you approach situations, like, for example, asking somebody out that you like, if they say no, that's okay. Because not only do you deserve somebody else who will, love you or who wants to go to the movies with you, they also deserve the respect of you going, okay, cool, no worries, and just going away. Or, or like being, cool, thought I'd ask, like, let's just be friends again, whatever it is. That is the secret to life.
There you go.
You deserve it, and so do they. It isn't that you deserve something more or that they deserve something more. It is always that your self-worth is dependent on you knowing that you are worth it. And then your interactions with other human beings is knowing that they are also worth it and finding the balance. So Anyway.
Can I use that?
I love this. I love listening to Katie's deep advice with scary zombie screams in the background. That's just how serious I am. So, yeah. So, we were talking about, I see people talking about, you know, you gotta have confidence, but confidence, there's that, like, common, you fake it till you make it, which is part true. Like, you talk about doing scary things, like public speaking and, you know, trying out for something or just doing something that makes you uncomfortable. Faking it till you make it is pretending that you really think you deserve to be there, which sometimes you kind of have to fake it a little bit just so that you can convince yourself that, you know, that it's true. I mean, it is true, but sometimes you need a little extra convincing. So sometimes faking it is a little stepping stone to getting there. But I think that we overuse the word confidence. Like, it's this kind of like confidence gets so easily mixed up with ego. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I think that confidence is just a side effect of believing that you deserve a happy and full life.
You can have confidence and not be a jerk.
Right. And you can be assertive and not be a jerk, you know, and so, I mean, going into, this is sidetracking, but women just being called bitchy or bossy, it's like, oh, no, we're just being assertive because we know that we're worth the same as you, you know? So it's especially difficult for ladies sometimes. But, yeah. Maybe that's what I'll just tell them. Confidence is a side effect of believing you have self-worth. Self-worth? I had a stroke.
I have a crossbow now. I kind of want to try my crossbow.
Junior says, are you going to watch the Rocket live with us?
Sure. I don't think I can rebroadcast it. Do you want to stay up till 12:30 on the stream and watch the Rocket?
I don't know if we can rebroadcast. Oh, like just our reaction?
Yeah, literally stream it. I mean, we could tell people just, like, load it, and then we'll be there at the same time.
Maybe. Although bed does sound comfortable. Laserbeam says, took me years to have any sort of confidence, especially growing up as a hardcore nerd. I feel like that would be especially difficult for you, Lennon.
Because he is a really big nerd.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because he's a really big nerd. No, because he comes from, he has 2 brothers, and he comes from a construction family. Or like a family that, you know, does a lot of construction work, who are hard yakker Aussies, so I imagine it was probably difficult being the one who liked to play video games. And
it's already been delayed till 1 a.m., so
no.
Maybe not. We'll tell everyone to go watch it.
But we all have our things, and I think it's a matter of finding them. I mean, again, Lannon is one of the hardest workers I've ever met, and he's only, you know, in his early 20s.
And I want to go that far.
He's older than that? I'm just kidding. No, he's a really hard worker. Very consistent. And he gave me some good advice, which was, just do it.
Nice.
It's like, you're just thinking about it, just do it. Just stop thinking, just do it. Just start doing it, and eventually you'll be doing it, and then you're doing it. So that's Lennon's advice. Surfer types, and I'm sitting in the room playing WoW. You nerd. I'm just kidding. But I'm really serious, you're a nerd. Thanks, YOLO Master. Good night, Jack. You're YOLO's favorite achievement hunter. What was I saying? This Sponia says, what's your point of view on dating a girl that has a kid? I mean, it's probably just that her... I mean, it's probably the same as dating somebody that doesn't have a kid, except that she has different priorities.
I wouldn't say it's the same. I mean...
Well, I mean, approaching it would be... You just have to be mindful of her
Yeah, I mean, you have
priorities.
to take that into account, for sure, 100%.
Yeah. I mean, it's you setting your boundaries, and I'm sure she'll set her boundaries. And if she doesn't, you set your boundaries. I don't think there's anything wrong with... I mean, I don't think you're asking if there's anything wrong with dating somebody that has a child, but...
Northeast, they're almost in?
Uh-oh. But I think it has a lot to do with what...
That's probably not good.
What you're comfortable with. My big thing is, especially having my mom who has a partner who wasn't great with us as young people. The thing that I have learned about having, or the thing that I would hope for anybody who ever gets into a relationship or develops a relationship with somebody who has children is that you have to understand that if you... Man, that deer was really up there on that mountain. If you choose to love the parent, you choose to love the children. You don't get to pick. You don't pick just the parent and not the child. You love both of them. Or none of them. And that's sort of my... You don't have to like them. Like, you don't have to be best friends with them. But, I mean, if you get into a very serious relationship with somebody and you're deciding to spend your future with them, then, yes, you make the decision to become a family. And that includes the child. And that may seem a bit pushy. That may seem a bit like you're being preachy. But that's my experience is I didn't feel that. I didn't feel like... I very much felt like my mom's partner was hated her children but loved her and made her choose between them. And I would never want that for anybody else. So maybe that's preachy, but...
Time to start digging.
Aw. That's true. Spitfire J says, a friend was dating a girl with a kid and they broke up and it hurt him because he grew fond of the kid. It can also be difficult if you develop a relationship with them. That's also true. And I think not that it's also complicated in that, you know, everybody wants stability for children, but you also have to do, I guess, what's best for you when it comes to that. I think it's just boundaries. I'm just a big believer in boundaries. Somebody asked a question.
We have trouble with the home front.
Somebody asked about...
Breach the wall? Fuck.
No! Somebody asked about... I feel like I'm just answering. I'm sorry if I'm being preachy tonight. Somebody asked about loneliness and how to deal with it if you aren't good on a social level. I think really digging deep into your interests. If you are really, really interested in books, try to join an online book club and a forum. Like, the internet is really, really great, especially for people
There it is.
Well, you found it. Especially for those of us who are a little less in tune with socialness. I don't know how to describe that, but I think that Piggy. I think that digging into your interests, if you like making jewelry, maybe try to do a jewelry class. And make friends. Like, my best friend was my massage therapist, who I left a love note for. And I say a love note, but it was when I gave her tip. This would have been probably pretty weird if I was a dude. No, that wouldn't be weird. Maybe it would have been. I'm not sure. But I basically said, "Here's my number. I'm new to Austin. Do you want to be best friends? Call me." And she did.
Pretty much that, yeah.
But I call it a love note because she made the joke that she asked her colleagues if she had to wait 3 days before she called me. But she's my best friend now, all because we got along really, really well, and I just kind of took a leap of faith and was like, "Do you want to hang out sometime and like be friends?" and now we're best friends. So I think it's just, again, it comes down to self-worth, like believing that you are worth being friends with, and you definitely are worth being friends with, and having relationships with people. But it can be really tough and really scary. So I would start, you know, if you really like WoW, try to join WoW for like play WoW, and then join, what are they called? Teams? Guilds. And then the farms, and like, you know.
That's one cool thing about Rooster Teeth is like you can always find Rooster Teeth fans. Like people, like a lot of people are into Rooster Teeth stuff, and it's like, all right, and so that's the good thing about like RTX and stuff. It's like you can find other people who are into the same stuff you are. You know, you have something in common immediately after meeting someone.
Right, with like literally everyone there, you know, you have at least one thing in common with them. And it's okay to pick and choose. That's another thing, is in life, it's okay to not like everybody. And it's okay for them it's okay for not all of them to like you. So knowing that it's not personal if somebody doesn't call you back, or, you know, you think that you've made friends with someone and they stop communicating with you, that's, you know, I guess that's their loss. If they don't want to be friends with you, then they didn't realize that you were worth being friends with. Or maybe they've got stuff going on in their life that you don't really know about, you know. But just keep going, keep trying, and, you know, you are worth being friends with. There was someone who asked a question, and it was about forgiving your past, and I didn't see. I just read Casavara's. My girlfriend is a female, for example, which is a massive plus over state. All right. Laserbeam says, it's the same way 99% of people's friends are from work. Finding groups of other people that share interests makes social stuff way easier. Yeah. I worry about people whose friends are all from work, because I know so many people who will leave that job and lose all their friends. So I always say that it's important to have friends that are not associated with your work also, because, you know, not that I think you're that you're worried about this, but sometimes it can develop toxic relationships too, in that if you're all working under the same roof, and, you know, something happens, you can it can become this toxic cycle of like, I hate that person, and then, you know, that person sucks, or, you know, this sucks, and it can kind of be like you don't really get a break from that. You're not venting because the person that you're talking to isn't impartial to what you're venting about. Instead, it becomes a cycle of you say something and that person, like, you know, this person feels like they got it out of their system, but now it's on another person, and they're like, yeah, I agree, because I experienced the same thing, and it becomes this really kind of toxic cycle. So I do worry about people who only have friends in their work life. It can be a little dangerous.
I'm looking for deer. I need to kill 3 more deer.
So many. I feel like I opened a can of worms. Sorry, Jack.
Are you telling everyone to be friends with each other?
Me? No. I just said nobody has to be friends with anybody. I mean, that's not true. I just said that not everybody will be friends with everybody.
Look, Katie, there's a deer.
And that's okay.
I'm gonna have to.
Ooh, that street light went on. That's interesting.
I have to kill it.
Undetected.
But I'll eat it. Oh, it's coming right for me. Put your head up, deer.
Did you get it? Nice.
I got it. It didn't suffer. It died very quickly. It's okay.
Brian, will you two be my friends? No, but thanks for asking. No, I'm just kidding. Of course. Brian asked a really tough, talked about a really tough time that they're going through. And I don't have any advice so much as that sucks. And I can't imagine how difficult that is. And I'm sorry that happened. But I can't speak from personal experience, but I'm positive that there are other people who you can talk to about that. Because that sounds very difficult, and I'm sorry that happened. But now we have $1 million back question.
And also, Laser Beam says, just remember, chat, no matter how bad life gets, you're still doing better than me, probably.
There's that Lennon I was talking about.
All right, let's look for more deer. Let me go to my hunting blind.
I didn't see what the $1 million... you get $1 million, but State Fan becomes your only friend. But I want to hear all about drilling holes in airplanes. Okay, Jack didn't say anything, but it was like half a joke and half not a joke.
What's a joke?
So I'm not really sure what direction that went, because I didn't really get anything from the audience.
Was it that State Fan would be your only friend? Mm-hmm. He's a cool dude. Would I still be your only husband?
That's a good question. Is it our only friend? Like, we still get to be together and have him as a friend? Or is it Jack is no longer married and it's his friend?
You should make my job sound boring. Nice.
No.
Oh, missed.
It sounds like a job I couldn't do. It sounds complicated, and like I would kill everybody. That is what would happen.
Jesus.
What's your favorite color Skittle? I like the apple ones a lot, actually, but probably red.
There's some tents over here. Let's go explore them. Demon Dan, your marriage becomes a loveless sham, but you each have state fight to confide in. Nice.
No.
Because it's hanging out there.
Somebody earlier asked about forgiving themselves, and I feel bad because I missed it and I don't know how to get back.
Yeah, there's Twaller, Total War.
I'm gonna scroll. Can I borrow this?
Yep, you can take that.
Oh, jeez, I didn't do it. This whole time I could have been scrolling. Oh, do they delete after a while?
I don't know.
Oh, this Tony Pie of Pizza. I've got a question about what you said before about aging. How long did it take you to be able to forgive your past younger self? Because I'm sort of the same boat with the sick dad thing. My dad was very depressed and got very addicted to painkillers. While he died of a heart attack, I've been blaming myself for his death for years. I've been trying to let it go, but I always say I'm blaming it back for him. Just a wisdom with age. Or did it take time and effort? That sucks, and that's never a... Yes.
Katie would take that in a heartbeat,
Yes.
State Fan.
You can absolutely do that, and I will accept PayPal. Therapy, honestly. Doing a lot of therapy. Reading a lot of books, and surrounding yourself with people who I think that's also an getting older thing, which Jack can probably attest to.
Wait, what's that?
That when you get older, you pick the people around you more.
Oh, absolutely. Like I always say, it's all about quality over quantity. Like, I don't have a lot of close friends, but the ones I do are incredible people.
Mm-hmm. Like, at least 70% of them would probably bail you out of jail.
Most likely.
But yeah. Therapy taught me a lot about cognitive behavioral therapy, which is kind of a belief that you have versus a belief that you want to have, and how to morph the two, or rather how to put the belief that you have over the one belief. Like, for example, it could be, I'm a bad child.
The words your friend talking about. Mod Watch House. We know it's cheap looking.
or it could be, you know, I'm a bad person. And the belief that you want to believe could be, I didn't know enough then, it's not my fault, you know, or I was just a child, you know. So say you believe the first one out of 10, you believe it 10 out of 10. It's a matter of working to eventually to not believe that as much and increase how much you believe that, you know, you were just a child and that you are, you know, you aren't responsible, and sort of changing the truth from this side over to this side. So therapy is really good for that. But I also think surrounding yourself with people who value your worth as a person. A lot of what I had to do, I kind of cheated a bit moving here, but it was cutting out people that weren't healthy from my life, who didn't make me feel good about myself. And like, I love the environment, and I feel very, very, I put a lot of guilt on myself for things. So when I had friends who would throw beer bottles out of the window and who would put stuff on the ground just to watch me pick it up because they were like, you know, what a hippie. You know, people like that, I don't need in my life. That's a waste of my energy. If they don't respect me as a person, then I'm not going to waste my time on them. And it was learning to, knowing that they aren't the only people who are ever going to love me, you know. Like I said, you leave love notes for massage therapists, and you should probably not do that. You should probably feel the water. Like, just don't be leaving love notes for everybody. I love that neon sign. I think when I say that it came with age, it very much began with the want. It very much began with me wanting to not feel that anymore, and just not really knowing how to change. So getting the tools that I needed to do that were really important, and I've been able to apply them as I get older and gain that perspective that I need. I hope that's helpful. Oh, wow. Bruce Sky says, CBT was a big part of my drug rehab therapy. Almost 2 years clean from IV heroin now after 10 dark years. Wow, that's awesome. Congratulations. You should be unbelievably proud of that. I'm sure you are, but that's very inspiring. Thank you for sharing that. Shit.
So, Katie, what is our goal for today?
Sorry, I was reading the chat.
That's okay.
Well,
Katie, will you be my therapist?
No. Sometimes I worry I am too therapy. I'm not a professional. I always preface things. I'm not a professional. What is that goal for today?
Yeah, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to accomplish in the game?
Oh, in the game?
Biofuel. That's interesting.
I don't know. Do you have enough trees?
We have lots of trees.
Oh, never mind
So we
then.
built a tower.
Have you made enough food?
Yeah, actually just put some more food back in.
Have you got enough water?
Yes, we have plenty of water. I have medicine, health items, vitamins in there.
Oh man, Tony Pie of pizza. The relatability is insane. So I again am not a professional. I think therapy has been wonderful for me, but I will say without any, I don't even know, but you are not alone in that. And I think that is trademark behavior of someone with addiction, because that story is not unfamiliar to me. Let me just say. Foolish Skater says, D&D was fun last night, guys. Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Now that I'm in my own body, Jack is in his own body, and we can make our own decisions about our bodies.
Okay.
Z Gamer says, so Katie, tell me more about therapy, but I think they're being sarcastic. So, no, don't be if you are being sarcastic, which I assume you are, because that's just what I do. I assume people are being mean without any context. Spitfire J says, Katie, you're not being too therapeutic. You genuinely care about people, and if they feel comfortable enough to talk with someone, why not someone who cares?
State Fan says, never forget Naked Jack. Thank you very much, State Fan. Trust me, you don't want to remember that.
Well, I will just specify again, it wasn't actually Naked You, it was Naked Me.
It's true, but it was my personality, which was naked, which was the scariest part.
So I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Spitfire J, but I feel like you and I have been friends on the Rooster Teeth site for a really long time. So please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's, oh, Z Gamer says, no, I'm not Katie. Okay.
So he wasn't being sarcastic?
I guess not. It's hard to know. It's hard to know. It is Spitfire J. Oh, that's cool. It's cool to see you in here. I feel like I haven't heard. I mean, the Rooster Teeth site's so different now. It's very difficult to kind of keep up with everything. But it's so cool to see your name pop up again. I don't know what you want to know about. I don't know what you want to know about therapy.
All
it's
right.
really. It's I mean. I'm at that weird level, which I tend to balance on. What's it called?
I don't know.
It's got a name. Something hangover, but it's not. It's not information hangover. What is it? It's like sharing hangover. It's basically what happens is when you make yourself really vulnerable, or you feel very, very vulnerable, you and in the moment it's like, what I'm doing is really important and I'm helping people, or I'm communicating this, or I need to talk about this or whatever. Later on you go back and you go, why did I do that? And no one wanted to know that, and I've overshared, and now no one's gonna look at me the same.
No, I'm sure everyone loves you.
Right, but it's like I'm often at that weird line, when I talk to people. It's difficult because you need to be there, because you need to be vulnerable to communicate with people. So I'm there a lot. Vulnerability hangover? Maybe it's vulnerability hangover. But I, how many years ago? It was like 2 years ago. I was really not very well, and my nervous system shut down, because it was too overloaded. And when I say shut down, I mean literally I couldn't move. Like, I woke up in the night. It was like, I'm so thirsty. Why am I so thirsty? Reached over, grabbed some water, and as I was pulling my arm back, I became paralyzed and couldn't talk. And so after going to the hospital and figuring out it was like my nervous system basically saying, you've had enough, your anxiety is like at a peak level and you just are really stressed out, I started therapy. And I hated my therapist. She was so mean, but she introduced me to, it's important to like shop around, if you don't like someone, you're not going to confide in them if you don't like them. But she introduced me to a really good psychiatrist. No, not psychiatrist. Is it a psychiatrist? The one that can prescribe medicine?
Or is it a psychologist?
No, a psychologist is like a therapist. So I think it's
It'll be a psychiatrist.
Yeah. And then she introduced me to something called intensive outpatient program, which is where you're not hospitalized. Like, you aren't living in a hospital, but you seek hospital-like treatment. So for 3 days a week, this going back to a romantic thing, I guess, Jack would drive me to my therapy, which was 3 hours, 3 days a week in the mornings. And he would come and pick me up and take me home because I was very, very sick. And so that was kind of my introduction to therapy, which was pretty scary. But
You said pretty scary and thought it said Siri.
Siri, why? Every time I said Sherry while she was here, Siri would lose its mind. What was I? Oh yeah, therapy. Yeah. So that's how I got into it. And I do a lot of EMDR, which is eye movement something rehabilitation. No,
I put a shirt on, by the way.
Oh, nice. Finally covering that up. I'm just asking to be eaten by zombies.
I could pull these bullets away.
I don't know what it stands for, which is pretty crappy on my part. I don't know. Try hard narwhal. Oh, I'm sorry. About your grandfather. That's really, really hard. My friend, my other best friend, is actually a hospice nurse. I frequently ask her questions about that stuff. And I think what's really great about her, and I mean, I guess her company too, is that they're very good about kind of caring for the family. So I don't know if maybe that's something that you can do if that's available to you. Sort of talk to the nurses and see kind of grievance, if there's any information on that. I mean, but that just sounds like a really, really tough thing to be going through. I can't imagine what that's like. So the only advice I can really give, I guess, is just to let... It's okay to not know what to do right now, because it's a pretty awful, stressful situation to be in. And I'd be pretty much the same. I think anyone would be pretty much the same. But it's not something you have to go through alone. And there's definitely resources available to you to help with that. And there is no shame in getting help with these things. And that's really important to remember. Well, Brian, I'm glad you're here with us, and thank you for joining us. And
Absolutely. It's always nice to have people hang out with us.
yeah.
I'm just chopping down trees right now.
Yeah, do it.
And chop. Circle of life. That tree that is chopped down, I'm using to repair these spikes.
Someone said, "Shut up, Siri, I wasn't talking to you." College Hockey says, "Join the Discord. It's much happier here." Life is about being happy and being, you know, maybe not feeling as happy. And it's incredible how much we don't want to be unhappy and the lengths we will go to not be unhappy. And a lot of what I've been learning is that it's just okay to not be okay. Like, it's such a fascinating concept, because it's like when someone comes up to you, for the most part, somebody that you love comes up to you and they say, "I feel really crappy," you immediately go, "Oh my gosh, that sucks." Like, you know, did something happen? Like, you're like, something must have caused this. And you're like, yeah,
Yeah. Like, it's typically like your first kind of response is, I need to fix whatever the problem is.
Right.
I know that's my response, and that's not always the correct thing. Like, that's not always something. Sometimes it isn't something that can be fixed, and that can be tricky.
Oh yeah, that's when it gets extra tricky. But for the most part, people are compassionate towards other people. But when it comes to ourselves, man, we are so mean to ourselves.
Except Lannon. I mean, Lannon, he really deserves it.
Yeah. Yeah, he really.
Is he still watching?
He really does.
Lannon, weren't you supposed to go out tonight? I thought that's why we weren't hanging out, because you were gonna go party it up or something.
Wow. Wow.
But that's cool. I mean, I guess.
Wow.
I mean, you're here. That's cool, Lannon. Someone put some cash in there.
Oh yeah, hating ourselves. Anyway, basically, I forget what I was saying, but it was about. Oh yeah, because you just talked about it's much happier over here.
Guy's on fire on a bike.
Yeah, you can. I think it is just as important to be present in feeling miserable than it is to be present in being happy. I think those two things are equally important. Is that person stuck there?
Yeah.
Oh no! Did they spawn there?
I don't know.
Axio says, so chat, Jack and Katie really wanted to ask a girl out today, but she was with a friend and I didn't want to put her on the spot. Is it okay to call and ask? I'd much rather do it face to face. We're about to start break.
Masturbator 666, thank you very much. Brand new Warden.
Thank you for subscribing.
Where'd they go? Did they jump off?
I think that was very respectful of you very mindful of you not to maybe put her on the spot. I think it's obviously you were very conscious of the situation. I think it's okay to ask people out in person, but I think that's really cool that you were conscious of the environment and the situation. I think it's totally cool for you to call and ask. And I think that, again, it's just remembering, I don't know if you were here earlier, that the advice that I was giving to somebody else was to remember that when it comes to asking people out, not that I think this of you, but there can be a lot of issues when it comes to like rejection, and I don't like to use that word because I'm not assuming that she's going to say no, but I just want you to know that in approaching this, it is 100% okay if she says no, because you deserve to be loved and respected and have a great, fun, mutual relationship with somebody. Even if it's not that person, and vice versa. If she doesn't feel like she wants to date you, that's her prerogative, and she deserves the same things as you. And it's a matter of knowing that you're both equal, and that she has the right to decide either way. And either way she chooses, you still, deserve to be, you still. It's not a flaw in your character. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe you killed the guy. I don't know. But assuming you didn't, it's okay if she says no. So just, yeah. And just making her aware of that. Just being like, I just thought I'd ask. I just thought, like, it's better to know than not to know. But, I think you're really cool. And I think if you're...
It's nice to know I'm a cool guy.
It's nice to know I'm a cool guy. This isn't about being a cool guy. It's about doing the dishes. Don't ask her to do the dishes. That'd be a bad first date. Some shit's going to go down. I think that's my favorite. I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, you be you and let her be her. But yeah, just be like, just no pressure. Just thought I would ask. Just so I know. Just so I've, That's where I'm at. Z Gamer says, so Caiti and Jack, who's your favorite band? I have 3. Well, I have more than 3. Ah, this is hard. Mine goes between Boy and Bear, Josh Pike, and Linkin Park.
Yeah, there's a few bands I really, really like that I would love to see live. Like I've said multiple times, I will fly anywhere to see Daft Punk live in concert. I'm just waiting for those guys to play a show again. I don't know. Black Keys, I really like a lot. Those guys are pretty awesome. Who else? Who else do I like, Caiti?
Dave Matthews Band, Real Big Fish.
I do like Dave Matthews Band, Real Big Fish.
Sublime. I'm just kidding. You don't have to say that. Just because I bought you all those albums.
I like Sublime.
And spent all that time.
What? I listened to the albums.
I actually found that t-shirt. You'll never guess where I found that t-shirt.
Where did you find the t-shirt?
Do you want to guess?
Wait, what do you mean?
The Sublime t-shirt?
Yeah.
Do you guess? Do you know what I know?
My t-shirt, or is like one you found, like another one?
The one that I got you.
Where was it?
Yes.
In the laundry?
No, I mean, where did I buy it from?
Oh, where'd you buy it? I thought you meant like I misplaced it somewhere.
No.
I don't know. Where'd you buy? I'm guessing.
You keep saying that. I keep telling you to ask.
Hot Topic.
No.
All right.
Target.
Nice.
Which I thought was so strange. Did I find it at Target or did I find it at JCPenney's? I know I found it somewhere and I thought it was the most bizarre place to find it.
What? Oh, do I just need to learn it?
Unknown Epic says, Jack and Caiti, can you guys stream forever, please?
Not tonight. Brass, steel.
It doesn't even matter how hard you try. Keep that in mind. I designed this round to explain in due time. All I know. I could do it. Don't think I couldn't. I could. Yolga says, hi Jack, I was at your PAX panel and it was awesome. It was my first time seeing RT members in real life. Stay fantastic. He says, cool.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to. What was the question?
They just said it was cool to see you at PAX.
Dude, it was awesome seeing you guys at PAX as well. Like, I love meeting fans. Like, nothing makes me happier than meeting fans.
So unreal. Right out the window, trying to hold on. It didn't even know. Just to watch you fall. Wait, is it go or fall? Even though I tried, it all fell apart. What it meant to me will eventually be a memory of a time where
How many times have you seen Linkin Park in concert?
4? I know I went twice in 1 week once.
Oh, I took her leg off.
And their tickets were not cheap. Let me just say that. I want to say 4 or 5. No, that seems like too many. 3 or 4. And twice in 1 week. I love Linkin Park. Oh my god. I'll never forget when the bass came on from what song was it? I don't know if I heard it. I can't remember what song it was. And I like practically melted and I was just like, I love Linkin Park. And it's funny because everyone's like, I like their old stuff. But I actually just like all of their stuff. There isn't anything of theirs I don't like because I feel like as I've gotten older.
Whoa.
Ooh, that guy's just.
Yeah, where'd she get in from?
Out. As I've gotten older and my taste in music has changed, they've changed with it. So, I don't know.
How did she get in? Taboo asked the exact same question.
Nultz Casey said, how do y'all feel about fans coming up to you in public as long as it's in a respectful way, of course? I have no issue with it. My thing is, when you're midway through dinner, and you're like taking a bite and they say, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it's like, you did mean to interrupt. So you don't need to preface it with, you didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, Taboo just died right behind me. I heard I turned around, he was dead.
So usually,
I'll go through his stuff. I just want to see what he has. I'm not going to take any of it. I'm just curious.
Nice.
A gun.
Ooh.
Some nice boots. Brown hooded sweatshirt. I'll leave it. I'll make sure no one else grabs it.
But yeah, that's mostly because I also eat like a pig, so that's always, I always feel self-conscious about that. But
where's Taboo?
But then
there's Taboo working the way down the hotel.
I feel like otherwise it's fine. Like I don't have any real issue.
Hello, Sonic. Sonic's dressed nice. Look at that.
Although I'm yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Normally I don't get asked for pictures ever. I always just offer to take one for Jack. I'm like, you want me to take it? They're like, yeah. Mostly because in public my hair is rarely washed and my face is I've always got acne. So my favorite Linkin Park songs, the Jay-Z Linkin Park. This isn't my this is a few. Jay-Z Linkin Park Encore. With the Brooklyn Boys for one last time.
I need a job and apply for the internship Achievement Hunter. Are you guys gonna call and let me know? I have no idea.
Yeah, Jack is.
I have no say over that.
They have a HR department now. Encore, I really love, and also Bleed It Out. Going out, fucking mind, filthy mouth, no excuse. Find a new place to hang this noose. String me up from a top.
Katie, you're so hardcore.
Truth is, you can stop and stare.
I love how hardcore you are.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm singing in my head. Make it a dirt dance floor again. Say your prayers and stomp it out. As we bring that chorus in. I'll bleed it out, digging deeper just to throw it away. I'll bleed it out, digging deeper just
nice.
to
We'll
throw
put torches
it
over
away.
there.
And then the other song that I love, I actually really love, is it 1,000 Suns? I really like, I have an entire movie written for 1,000 Suns. That it's on my bucket list to do one day. But my favorite 1,000 Suns song is, I can never remember their name. Like when I read it, I'll know. That makes sense. When I read it, I'll know. Logic.
Someday.
Where is my music? Oh, did I move it because I wasn't interested in music anymore?
We have more lights over there now.
Motorcycles. Of Monsters and Men. That's another band I really like. I love Of Monsters and Men. Whoa, where is my Linkin Park? Phew, that was close.
That treasure is so
Blackout. Far. I like Blackout a lot. Blackout, blood in your eyes. This is not. None of these songs make any sense when you look at me. You're just like, oh, she must love Spice Girls. I do love Spice Girls. That was a bad assumption.
Hey, Demon Dan, Jack and Kate, Mumford & Sons. I like Mumford & Sons.
I like Mumford & Sons a lot, but after a while, all their music sounds the same. Like, it tends to me, if I'm listening, because I tend to listen to an album from beginning to end, it kind of blends together.
Do you like the band Trio? They sing da da da, the da da da, bum, 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 da da da.
I don't know what that is.
I don't know if that's them. Maybe.
And I like what?
Whoever that is down there, we have like a car horn. It goes.
And I think is it Waiting for the End or Wretches and Kings?
Who left the door open?
When the operation of the machine becomes so odious, makes you so sick at heart that you can't take part. You can't even passively take part. And you've got to put your bodies upon the wheels, upon the gear. Whoops. Upon all the apparatus, and you've got to make it stop. Oh, it was this song. Wretches and Kings. When the bass came on for this song, I lost my mind. It was incredible.
All right.
We're gonna get shut down. We're gonna get shut down.
Let's move the bike inside.
I think it's when they come for me. Yeah, when they come for me, I have a ballet dance. So if you want to Google that real quick, imagine that with ballet. I have a whole movie just like choreographed to this.
Oh, is it broken?
You get $1 million, but you all lose your hair. You lose all your hair forever, or is it like temporary? You gotta be specific.
Yeah.
It was that song. That was the song. I remember it. It just came pumping out of the speakers, and I was like, oh my god.
May I borrow this 2 seconds?
Yes.
All right.
Oh, Paramore. I love Paramore. I don't know why I didn't think of Paramore.
Oh, you do love Paramore. I told you about the time when Haley, what's her name, tweeted a photo of herself naked by accident. And you were like, what?
Because they're so
Because they're very religious. Yeah. I was like, whoops.
They're extremely religious.
So that's kind of funny.
Although I was listening to some of their music earlier, and now in my new kind of like found
killing server
feminist wisdom, there's a lot of their music that's kind of like a new Skater Boy, where it's
said see you later, boy.
It was what song is it? Again, I used to know all the Paramore songs.
Oh, that was fun. Sorry I was so quiet tonight, but Katie, you were rocking it. It was great. It made it very easy for me.
What's the song? It's got a body like an hourglass, ticking like a clock. It's a matter of time before we all run out. I thought he was mine. She caught him by the mouth. I waited 8 long months. She finally set him free. I told him I couldn't lie. He was the only one for me. 2 weeks and we have caught on fire. He's got it out for me, but I wear the biggest smile. Whoa, what if it makes you bright? But I gotta wear whatever now. Sorry. Whatever that song is, it's kind of like mean.
All right, is SpaceX taking off yet?
That's right.
Is SpaceX taking off yet? I want to see real quick.
It is a good song. I just feel bad because it's kind of like, oh, it's talking about women hating women. End of stream bits. Thank you.
Hey, Stateland, thank you so much. I appreciate
it was all
that.
my singing, right?
Maybe this is final bits. You get $1 million, but every time someone cheers bits in your stram, you for 10 seconds, you sound like a chipmunk.
I do it.
Depends on how much. Like
Wait.
what is the number?
Oh yeah, I see.
You know, if it was just like any amount, it'd be like one thing. But let's check Twitter, see if. Because they have like a 3-hour launch window tonight.
I don't hate Full Out Boy.
Liftoff now set for 1 a.m. So the broadcast will start very soon.
I really like the take a look at my boyfriend, a girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Do you know that's where Katy Perry got her start?
As who?
As a featured person in a music video.
Alpha wins. Thank you very much. First time watching stream live. Great show tonight, guys. Can't wait for next time. Thank you very much. Alpha 2 wins.
You.
Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the Wardens.
Wait, was that Full Out Boy? Which one's the one? Maybe it's not Full Out Boy that I'm thinking of. Oh god, did I just like offend everybody?
Probably.
Because it's the guy that I chime in with a haven't you people ever heard of? Isn't that
Closing the goddamn door.
Isn't that Full Out Boy?
I don't know. Is it?
Oh. Was it My Chemical Romance? I like Nickelback. Everyone hates Nickelback. I don't hate Nickelback either. Gym Class Heroes. Sorry, that was Gym Class Heroes. My bad. I apologize. I'm sorry. Oh god, now I'm singing all of them. God, I just got 3 all mixed up. I'm sorry. You can love who you want. Live stream just started.
Welcome to the live stream, Saxman Mike. Thank you very much for that. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone. We love you so much. Y'all are seriously the best. It's a lot of fun. We'll be back very, very soon. I've still got... I'll tell you a secret. I didn't get around to installing this guy yet, so I still have it. So I still need to install that. So I'll put that in, and then we can start doing some tests. See how it runs.
Yay.
And we're also setting up Katie's machine, too. I think I got it working properly now, so Katie should be able to stream from her machine whenever she wants to, theoretically. Maybe. Probably not. It'll probably break still, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So anyway, Katie, do you have any final words tonight?
I mean, do you want me to keep it to the same tone that I kept it at? Because if so, I just got to commit. That vulnerability thing is happening.
Oh, are you?
I'm gonna need extra cuddles.
Oh, I got plenty. I got all the cuddles for you, baby.
Remember that you are, seeing as this stream was all about this, remember that you are worth everything. And I mean, there is no value on you. You deserve to be loved, you deserve to be respected, and that everybody else deserves the same, to be loved and respected. And we are all equals, and yeah. And take care of yourself and take care of everybody and take care and oh my gosh.
That's all you got? That was pretty good though. I thought it was pretty good. Are you all right? Are you breaking? Oh God.
No, I just feel bad. I get to a point where I'm like, oh, I'm being preachy and everyone hates it. So
No, not at all.
I'm just kind of.
Oh, hang on a second. Don't play that yet. Stop. Okay. I'm gonna try something different tonight and see if this will work. Maybe. Well, that's awesome. That's good stuff. That's positivity. Right?
Yeah. Confidence is a side effect of self-worth.
There you go. Fake it until you make it.
No, that's the... Okay.
What? If you fake that you have confidence, eventually you gain confidence.
Well, I mean, no, not necessarily.
Well, that's how I get it. Like if you pretend that you're confident, it's like if you're acting confident, like I'm actually terrified, but I'm acting confident. At some point, you will be like, oh, I'm just actually being confident.
But people can mix that very, very easily, mix it up with ego. And I think that phrase especially. So it's fake it till you make it is more complicated in that you have to fake not just... confidence is a side effect of faking that you think you deserve to be there. Or like whatever it is. So like say, when do you need to fake it to make it? Like what's a good example of that?
Speaking in front of a crowd.
Right. So why would someone be nervous to speak in front of a crowd? What would go through their head?
That they're going to stumble and flub their words.
Mm-hmm. That they're going to be embarrassed. That people are going to be like, what's this guy doing up here? So faking it is believing that you deserve to be there. Like you deserve the space to be in front of those people, that you deserve their respect, that, you know, as in like their attention, that they should listen to you and care what you have to say. So confidence comes as a side effect of believing that you deserve that space, that platform, that you deserve to be there in that moment in time. So confidence, I find the word confidence, not the what it is, what it embodies, but the word can often get confused with ego or entitlement. But really, confidence is a side effect of believing that you deserve to be listened to. In an office, you're pitching something. I deserve this time. You know, I booked this interview, or I booked this meeting. I told you I'd be talking for 10 minutes. That's what I'm going to do. And I deserve to be up here, and I deserve for you to care about what I have to say, you know. The same with an audition, though. It doesn't always quite work like that. But yeah, confidence is a side effect of believing that you are worth it.
Okay, I like that.
Sorry.
That's
I didn't
good.
mean to say you're wrong.
I was wrong.
Mean to say, that's not what I meant. I just mean to say it can be more complicated than that.
All right.
I believe.
It is more complicated than that, but
Shut up, Jack. Everything you say is wrong. I'm sorry.
All right. On that note,
sorry. In your experience.
In my experience, I pretended I was confident, pretended I knew what I was doing, and eventually I got to the point where I actually did know what I was doing, and I was confident. So.
Mm-hmm. But that was because you allowed yourself the space to believe that you deserve to be there. And by allowing yourself the space to be there, I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm telling you what happened in your brain.
Okay.
Is that because you allowed yourself... why are you looking at me like that? You're trying to end the stream and I'm still talking. That's what's happening. I'm sorry, Jack. Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry.
Make it until you make it. I don't know, since I can't say that anymore. All right. Well, everyone,
that you are worth it.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. You guys are seriously the greatest. It means a lot to us. We love you very, very much. All of our followers, all the people who stumbled in, all of our wardens, all of our mods, everyone who threw some bits into the cheer cup. You guys are great. We love you so very much. All right. We're going to call it. We're going to go watch a rocket take off into space. So we love you guys. Have yourself a lovely evening. We'll see you next time. And take care of yourself. Take care of each other. By the power of the beard, we are bonded.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Ciao. I'm going to try something new with the outro. Bye.